here. Just wanted to share something that I heard in the past week that really spoke to me and was powerful, and I just hope that it encourages you today. I heard, and I don't remember where I heard it from, but it said, Satan knows your name, but he calls you by your sin. God knows your sin, but he calls you by your name. I'll just let that sink in. It's just so powerful, because how many times do we just allow the enemy to call us by our sin, to say that that's who we are, that we're never going to change, that that's who we're always going to be. You know, he brings up our past, he brings up our failures, he brings up our mistakes. It makes us feel unworthy, or unable to teach, or unable to give an encouragement, or unable to even pray and approach the throne. And so I just brought me to John 10:3-5. It says, to him the doorkeeper opens, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he brings out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Yet they will by no means follow a stranger, but will flee from him, for they do not know the voice of a stranger. I just think that's so encouraging, because we have to remind ourselves that we are children of God, and God knows our name. He calls us his own. And if we are his sheep, we hear his voice. And we have to be discerning to know the voice of God and the voice of the enemy. The Bible calls Satan the father of lies, and that is what he does. There is no condemnation in Christ. That condemnation comes from the devil, and he tries to just keep us in that sin and failure. And if we know the voice of God, we have to, be in the word. We have to know truth. So when the enemy comes, we can say that that is not the voice of God. That is the voice of a stranger, and not be derailed. So just be encouraged today that the Lord, if you are his children, that he knows your sin, but he calls you by name. He calls you chosen. He calls you redeemed. He calls you loved. He calls you enough. And just be encouraged that